Hello, everybody. Welcome to day 3 of the Get Connected Challenge. I'm Stacy. Thanks for coming. I am coming to you from a different room in my house today. This is my artist studio with the beautiful sunshine and the sea in the background. So I thought we could all use a little extra sunshine and sea air today. It's feeling very heavy, even though it's a beautiful weather day here in Rhode Island. Today, it just seems very heavy energetically. And what I wanted to share with you about day 3 is it doesn't take long when you start a practice like getting connected to your soul for the floodgates to open. And so my message today, well, I'll get to the message that I got for my morning journal, but the message that I'm feeling today is the floodgates are open for all of the messages, because there's so much that wants to connect with you that once you say yes to that invitation and say yes to that connection and that relationship, it's like go time. And that's what I'm feeling right now. It's like the floodgates are open, but also I feel that the wheels have come off of life, especially for me in the last 24 hours. Yesterday, I was happy-go-lucky and feeling great, and today, not so much. But because there's people, there are people in my family that are struggling, and that is weighing on me. So if you are having that same situation, I totally understand, and I'm with you, because that's just where we are now. That's where we are now. It's that so many people are experiencing suffering and trying to cope with different traumas and pains and hardships. So I wanted to share with you what the message was that I had for my morning journal, and it was literally what I'm just talking about, the pain of the human experience. That was the message that I got this morning, the pain of the human experience. And it's hard or impossible to hear your soul's voice when you're stressed or when you're depressed. When you're sad is different, because there's still a great way to connect to your soul when you're sad, and your soul has a lot of wisdom to share with you, with your physical person, when you're sad. So when you're sad, I think that the connection is still strong, but if that decreases all the way down to depression, that it's like you're in the illusion of being disconnected from your soul. You can never be disconnected from your soul. That's not possible, but it is the illusion of it, and that's what causes the hopelessness and the depression. So, and when you're in that state, or when you're in a state of stress or turmoil, it's hard to hear your internal voice. And that is why a constant state of turmoil is why the powers that were, I don't call them the powers that be, but the powers that were and that are on their way out, why they want to keep the collective in turmoil all the time. Because if you're in fight or flight or freeze, you can't make good decisions, and you're more inclined to give your power away to someone who is happily ready to take it. And so that's why so much is happening on the planet right now. There's a big push to keep humans staying at the level that they are spiritually, when we're at a time when spirituality is just going to explode and people are craving the connection with their soul. So, and people in positions of power don't want that, because if you're connected to your soul, you are free and you are joyous and you are unable to be controlled. So just keep that in mind. Connection to your soul equals freedom from tyranny. Just a little aside there. So So the other question I had, I came up with questions that I don't necessarily have the answers for, but I wanted to pass along to you. And one of them was, what do you do, or what can we do when our loved ones are hurting? Right? What can we do when our loved ones are hurting? And I don't really have a good answer. We can be our support, we can give hugs, we can hold hands, we can give an ear to listen and be an outlet for their struggle, and for them to be able to communicate their struggle. So I think that is what I'm thinking, that I can be someone who can listen to your struggle, or to the struggles of those that I love. So I am working to be that person, to be that ear. Listening is incredibly underrated. So, and then, where can we park our pain? Right? So many people are in pain right now for so many reasons, mostly emotional, some physical. And I've always said that I use writing to park my pain. And that's very true. And I've done that for 20 years. When my mom got sick, I had nowhere to go, really. I had bereavement counseling, but then in my writers group, I found more healing and more connection to the feelings that I couldn't name in my writers group than I did in counseling. Was great, but it was nothing compared to the aha moments that I was having for once I found writing as a way to park my pain. And there's this term called compartmentalizing pain, and that is a term used for terminally ill persons who deal with pain every single day, and there's no pill or meditation that's going to take it away. So they have to literally live with their pain every day. And it's called compartmentalizing because there needs to be, you can't just be in pain 24/7. That's not physically possible. So there are ways that the brain and the heart and the soul disconnect from the pain so you can function, and so you can experience other emotions other than just pain. And I think that is what one takeaway of today's video is, and day 3 of this challenge and getting connected is, one, where can you park your pain so that you can find joy in snippets of your day, or even relief. If you can't get to joy, where can you park your pain, compartmentalize it over here so that you can enjoy this moment or get relief in this moment over here. And I find that through painting. I love painting and expressing my creativity with color. And I find while I'm focused on that exercise, I'm able to not think about what's going on over here. And it's important to detach from drama and all of the hardships that are going on, because no one can function 24/7 in that turmoil. And I know from personal experience, at times when I'm stressed, I do not make good decisions. I actually make very bad decisions, detrimental decisions to the future of a lot. So making decisions when you're stressed, or when you are in that fight or flight mode or pain, rarely, not saying all the time, but rarely results in something positive. I at least have not found that personally. Please let me know if you have. If you've been, in a heightened stress situation, and then you make a decision and say, yeah, you know what? That was a really great idea or solution. I would love to know. So, and the other thing I was asking myself today, because I was needing some fresh air, and I went down to the water and walked the dog, and that was really great because the calming sea air and the sunshine was so beautiful that it really helped calm my nervous system. So I would suggest to you, if you're feeling stressed, get outside. Get outside if it's warm, get outside if it's cold. Brisk coldness is great too. So is rain. Walking in the rain, dress for it and walk in the rain. It's so connecting to nature and to yourself. Rain, I feel, carries emotion, and you can connect through. I love rain. I love being outside in the rain. It's so, I mean, some may even say it's like a sadness, because you could say it's a metaphor for tears, and that is true. But I think that it's also a catalyst for release of your own tears, release of your own emotions. Water, because it's water, and water represents emotion. So those would be my suggestions. But the thing I was thinking about when I was on my walk with my dog is, usually there's always trash around on the walks, and I don't think I've ever come back empty-handed, because I will pick trash up from the ground. And today I saw a Marlboro. Who smokes Marlboro anymore? My God. I saw a Marlboro empty cigarette box, and I walked right on by, and I was like, you know what? That is my, whatever you want to call it, the mess that's going on internally is giving my external world the finger, because I was like, you know what? I'm not picking that up, because I feel like crap. And that's the wrong attitude, because that is what we're seeing out in the collective. We are seeing the world littered with Marlboro cigarette boxes, and no one's picking them up because everyone's feeling like complete crap. P.S. I turned around and went back and got the Marlboro box, because I knew that I was giving in to my inner tantrums, giving in to my inner brat. And that's not who I want to be. At this point in my journey, that's not who I want to be. So I went back and got the Marlboro box. So the other question I had is, what if the major decisions that we've made in the last 5 years, call it, haven't turned out the way that we had hoped? Like a big move. I've done a big move, not across country, but I've moved states, right? So something like that, or a new school, or a new career, or a new marriage. These are big, life-altering decisions. And what if these big, life-altering decisions that we made 5 years ago, 3 years ago, last year, are turning out to be less than ideal, right? I'm finding that in a few things. And I'm second-guessing, right? So are you second-guessing some really big decisions that you've made in the last however long? There were a ton of relocations during COVID. How many people moved? Like everyone. So, are you finding that was the right thing to do? Are you happy where you are? Or are you thinking that, you know what, I was running from something, not to something, and so I need to backtrack and go back to Connecticut? Or, something like that. I'm not saying that's me. I enjoy where I am right now. So, but it's a question to ponder, really. And so if that's the case, and the decision and where you are in your life right now is feeling like you would have been better off not doing the thing, then maybe try and do some soul searching as, okay, this is where I am now, and how can I make it the best for now? How can I make this the best for now? And that's what I'm working on, right? And that's what I'm working on with family members. How can we make this the best for now? It's not permanent. Nothing is. And there's a little comfort in that, right? Okay, so those were my only questions. And then I pulled some cards out of my connection deck, because that's what we're doing for these 21 days. And I knew I was going to get magnetic. I knew it. Like, I did this how many days in a row now that I knew what card I was going to get before I got it, and then I got it. So I got magnetic. And then the first thing I said to myself was, no. I'm not feeling magnetic. I'm not feeling, I know what this card represents. And how do you do? Okay, there. I know what this card represents, magnetic. And I'm not feeling it. But I will read it to you. I'm not going to read you the whole card, but it's just basically you have the power to increase your magnetism. And I wrote a kick-ass message from magnetism. It's wonderful. And in the right frame of mind, it is so powerful. And I will read it to you when I'm feeling and I'm in the right frame of mind for this particular card, because right now I am not. So I will read you the affirmation, which is magnetism is the spice of life, and I can conjure it with my power of visualization. And that is very true. And so my question to myself is, can you override and kick yourself into gear to feel this when life is really hard and life is really sad? Right now I'm feeling like no. And I know that's not true. I know that I can connect to this. I can connect to this energy. The one that was resonating with me, I didn't shuffle and pull. I just flipped through and looked through my cards, was power, which is the card right next to it. This is number 7, whereas magnetic is number 8. And I'm feeling more, I could get behind power much more than I can get behind magnetism. So with power, you are here to live your life in bold strokes of vibrant color. Your energetic power center is in your stomach, right above your navel. You can collect the energy and use it to accomplish your goals. It has to be strong, and you must be aware of and cultivate its potential. The power of the universe is at my disposal through my body. So that was just a brief description, because there's a lot more text in here. But I felt like the power card was something that, with the exercise that's in that book, that it's something that we can draw on, the power that we can draw on from the sea, from the sun, from nature, from a tree, from your family, from your connection that you are building in this 21-day challenge. You can draw on the energy from all of those things, or one of those things, and get through what you're going through right now. I feel you, and I support you, and I know that what's going on right now is temporary, and we have to find our resiliency, and we have to find our inner strength to keep going. Keep going. I just watched the movie Riot on Netflix, and it was awesome. I would recommend that. It is a story about resiliency, and keep going, and it will give you a boost. So I recommend that movie to watch if you're feeling low. I wish you well. I will see you tomorrow for day 4. Let me know if any of this resonated with you, and if it is helping you get through the times that you are in, because I appreciate my time with you, and it is helping me get through the times that I am in. Be well, everyone. I will see you tomorrow.